Hello Year 7, welcome to your Autumn 2 revision video. Everything in this video you need to know in preparation for your PE exam, which will take place in the week beginning the 30th of November. So we're learning about bones this half term. Did you know that there are 206 bones in our body? We're going to watch a video in a minute. Try and label as many as you can during the video on your worksheet. Don't worry if you don't get them all. We're going to go through them once the video finishes.
Oh, that's a skeleton. Bones, bones, bones. Oh, that's a skeleton. Bones, bones, bones. I got 206. Bones, bones, bones. Well, they're holding up our body and they're crucial to our movement, protecting inner organs when we're dancing and moving. Bones are rich in calcium, not something we should break. Supporting our whole body, and what's cool is what they make our blood cells. The marrow in our bones produces blood cells. Red and white and all types of cells, that's what I said. Our blood cells, our blood cells, our blood cells. I got bones, I got bones. When I count my bones, I get 206. I got bones, I got bones. When I count my bones, I get 206. Well, the skull has got the cranium, protects our human brains. The vertebrae are stacked up, fuel nerves the spine contains. The smallest bones are tiny, they're found right in the ear. The face might be the smallest, but neighbor loves to hear. Our ribs are kind of rounded, protecting lungs and heart. Both boys and girls have 24, protecting vital parts. The arm is pretty long, but consists of just 3 bones. Humerus radius ulna, plus all the things we've thrown. Humerus radius ulna, the bones found in the arm. Humerus radius ulna, 3 bones must be the charm. The pelvis has a hip bone, sacroiliac joint, the bottom of your spine. I think you get the point. Femur is our longest bone connecting hip to knee. Tibia, fibula, you'll need a foot that's 3. Kneecap is patella when you're down or have to crawl. Protects and moves the joint inside a shock absorbing ball. The tarsus in the ankle, the carpals in the wrist. Fingers, toes have many bones, their names just can't be missed. The phalanges, the fingers and the toes, they are phalanges. Phalanges, phalanges, phalanges. Phalanges, 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 phalanges. Bones, bones, bones. Oh, that's a skeleton. Bones, bones, bones. Oh, that's a skeleton. Bones, bones, bones. I got 206. Bones, bones, bones. Bones are the connection, the ligaments are through it. Connective tissue straining, the ligaments work through it. Connecting muscles to the bones is something that must be. Tendons tendon to create bone muscle harmony. Tendons connecting bones to muscles, something that I said. You can't move without your tendons, you'd be stuck in bed. Mostly made of calcium, our bones support our frame. And store important minerals, bone tissue makes our gain. Bones, bones, bones. Oh, that's a skeleton. Bones, bones, bones. Oh, that's a skeleton. Bones, bones, bones. I got 206. Bones, bones, bones. I got 206. Bones, bones, bones. Oh, that's a skeleton. Bones, bones, bones. Oh, that's a skeleton. Bones, bones, bones. I got 206. Bones.
Okay, so how many did you get?
Monster Math presents addition.
Excuse me. How many bones did you manage to write down on your worksheet? Let's go through them. Here is the skeleton. Okay, now we've got some bones on the left called the axial skeleton, and those are the bones that run down right down the middle of your body. Okay, so we've got the skull at the top on our head. We've got the sternum down the front. The ribs protect our lungs, and the spine runs down the back, and the official word, scientific word for the spine is the vertebrae. And then the coccyx is the tiny little bone right at the bottom of your spine. The other type of skeleton you need to know, and you might have learnt this in science already, is something called the appendicular skeleton. And those are all the bones that attach onto the axial skeleton. So we have our clavicle across our shoulder. We have the scapula. The humerus is the long bone in your arm. You also have the pelvic girdle, which is where your pelvis sits. Your radius and ulna are in your arms. The radius is on the outside, ulna is on the inside. You then in your hands have your carpals, your metacarpals, and your phalanges. The longest bone in the body is called your femur, and it's where your quadriceps muscle is on the front of your leg. You also have a patella. Another word for your patella is your kneecap. You then have the tibia and the fibula, which are the 2 bones in the lower half of your leg. You then have tarsals, metatarsals, and phalanges. So the words for your hands and your feet are quite similar. Carpal, metacarpal, and phalanges in your hands, tarsal, metatarsal, and phalanges in your feet. Make sure you've got these all written down. Okay, moving on to types of bones. There are 4 types of bones in the human skeletal system. Write these down on your worksheet. We have long, short, flat, and irregular. And here's a picture. So the long bone is on the left where the humerus of our arm is. That's a good example. Long bone in our body. Short bones could be the carpals in our wrist. Flat bones could be the sternum, which goes down the front of your chest. And irregular bones are your vertebrae in your back. Let's learn a little bit more about them. Long bones, their function is that they support weight and allow movement. Examples are the tibia, fibula, femur, humerus, radius, and ulna. Look at my little picture of the skeleton here. Which bone is highlighted in red? Can anyone work it out? That's it, you're right, it's the humerus bone. Short bones are cube-shaped and they're going to be found as tarsals or carpals. Remember that they're found in our feet and our hands. Can you remember which one goes where? Okay, so tarsals are in your feet and carpals are in your hands. The next type of bone is flat bones, and they protect our internal organs. And the examples are our cranium in our head, our skull, our sternum down the front protecting our heart, and our ribs protecting our lungs. They are flat bones. And finally, we have irregular bones. They're just a bit odd shaped, to be honest. They have complex shapes. 2 examples, patella, which is another word for our kneecap, and vertebrae, which are the little tiny bones that make up our spine in our back. So you need to know all those 4 different types of bones. So to summarise, the exam will take place the week commencing Monday the 30th of November. You need to know all the bones and the different types that we've learned today, year 7. And you also need to remember from our last exam, all those muscles, the importance of a warm-up, and the importance of a cool down and the different phases of your warm-up and your cool down. Good luck!